Hey, Bohemia with Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart Readings, and today we're going to do another one. So this is a continuation of the Do They Think You're Compatible in this situation or relationship video. So there'll be a link down below, and you can go ahead and see the beginning of this video and pick other options. This is the last pile, group 4, the Labradorite pile. So go ahead, if you feel drawn to watch this through, go ahead and, you're here, so you're here for a reason. You can watch this one. You can also go ahead and click the link and go and see the other videos, all right? Now, back to the reading. For those of you who chose this pile, there definitely is where something's going on in this connection where I feel like this person feels a bit overwhelmed because you keep having like this interruptions. The SD card's completely new and fresh and blank and open, but it was saying it was full and it didn't want to record and it wasn't letting me like switch files over. And how this person sees themselves is a 10 of Wands, which is overwhelmed. A card of overwhelm. Saturn and Sagittarius, completion. They feel like I'm done. This is a lot. They feel like you need to clear energy over here, or they need some like higher knowledge or something, because we have Sage here, and this is the 9th house. I saw 111 now. I saw 555 when the video shut off. All right, I'm seeing 88 over here. So this person could feel like either they're inundated, like too much information, too much input, too much control is being like exerted over their mind, over their choices, over their spirituality. Maybe they feel overwhelmed by the energetic or spiritual connection in this group, or they just feel like there's been, maybe someone read them and they feel like, okay, you're in my business too much. You're trying to control how I think and who I am, or my freedom. You're trying to restrict me. So there's some kind of overwhelm. We have a sun back here in the background, could be Leo, and they could feel like, that my son's being eclipsed. Maybe some of you have an aspect natally of your Saturn being upon like their personal planets or something, and they're not liking this vibe. They don't like that more is expected of them. They feel like they've learned and grown a lot. They feel like they are a spiritual person, they are a creative person, but that this connection doesn't appreciate it somehow, and they feel overwhelmed, and they feel like they just want it to be done with the 10 of Wands. They want this off their back. They have something to get off their chest. Okay, they could feel frustrated and just exhausted. Yeah. So how they see you, we have the 7 of Cups reversed. Now, it could be, it says imagination reversed, Venus and Scorpio. So some of you don't know this person maybe. And it's just a lot of energy that's coming towards them. And that could be why they're kind of confused and stressed and overwhelmed by it. It just doesn't interact with them in a healthy way. But it could be that they're trying to see the truth of you. They're trying to see without the glitz and glam, without kind of some kind of energetic glamour that you have about you, without some kind of dreaminess and promises, pie in the sky promises that may or may not happen. Like, who are you actually? They could see you as wanting some realistic results, or like a design, a plan for the connection. And they could see that you had been someone who was impressionable and dreamy before. We have Scorpio here. We have the fish, which is Pisces. We have this Aquarius kind of energy here. Could be Cancer as well. They could see that before maybe you were more impressionable, but now you're being more realistic. Now you're going to try to see what's really going on in the situation, and maybe that's what's affecting them here, where they feel that Saturn energy, like you matured, you're adulting, you're asking them these concrete things, and maybe they don't feel like they can answer that test anymore. And it was easier when you were in a dreamier state to interact with you, or something of that nature. Maybe how they perceived you, if you're just meeting, how they perceived you, maybe you had like a water ascendant, or they perceived you as having some kind of watery Neptunian or even Venusian type energy, but then you're actually very serious about whatever your interaction is, and they're like, whoa, that's a lot. Like, now I'm the one being kind of like interviewed or read or analyzed or something, and I didn't expect that, or it's not what I wanted from you, is kind of the vibe. Let's see the energy that they're seeing in this connection. We have fire world, desire, sensuality, creations, Fata Morgana effect here. This is where something's not as it seems. There's a different end or outlier outcome, but that's reversed. So they could be wondering, they still want to, they feel like they do perceive how something's going to end, but that they, oh, this is so strange. Yeah, it's like they perceive a negative ending is kind of the vibe that's coming out. So they feel like your process is different than they imagined it would be. However, they feel like the outcome that they assume is still going to be the outcome that happens. We have alpenglow here, which is love that lasts, true adoration and cherished legacy reverse. So they don't, so far, we'll clarify their actions and how they see if they think this is a blessed connection or not. But so far, they're not really seeing like a happy outcome. There's like a cynical energy that they're carrying. There's a lot of desire here. There's a lot of attraction. There's a lot of lust kind of energy, or wanting to create something kind of energy, but they don't feel like they're going to get the outcome that maybe others would expect, or the outcome that maybe you would perceive that you would have in this connection. So what do they think about your compatibility? We have the Nine of Wands here, the Chariot. We have the Page of Wands reversed. So this definitely, if you're asking romantic wise, this person could really be like, I don't want to be chained. It could be hit it and quit it. Like, sorry to say, but it could be hit it and quit it energy. This could be a person who will do a lot to win you over before they get what they want. And then look, they done called a taxi already, y'all. And they're over here at the burlesque place doing other things and people and stuff. Page of Wands kind of vibe. Page Knight of Wands energy. Knight of Wands energy kind of reversed here. We have the Chariot and we have the Nine of Wands. So they could be a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sag. There's big Sagittarius here. Leo, we have Cancer again, Scorpio, Pisces. We have some Capricorn and some Aquarius vibes here again. But yeah, this person feels like they feel like it's a lot of work. Like it's a lot of work. They don't really want to do the work to come out of the cold. They don't really want to explain themselves. They don't want, like here it's starting to rain, like they don't want the barrage of emotions that this connection kicks up for them, or that they perceive that they would get from you. Maybe they're like, oh, if I say how I am, if I talk how I want to talk, you're going to start crying. Maybe they're like Aries and you're Cancer kind of vibe. You're not going to take what I say well. Like, you know, so sometimes they feel like they would rather eat fire than to move forward in the connection, because they feel like they can't be themselves. They feel like it makes them out to be someone they don't want to be. It reminds me of when fire signs are with sensitive people and they're just like, no matter what I do, I'm going to sound like the jerk. Like I'm going to sound like a jackass. You're going to think that, you know, I'm being ruthless. You're not going to like the way I'm steering things. So they do feel like if you guys were to put your kind of creative energies together or something, you could go far. The Chariot can triumph and be very successful. At the same time, they feel like you guys will end up shooting each other in your own foot kind of vibe. And one of you is much more of a tiger. One of you is much more sensual, a go-getter, kind of like free in that way, might party more harder, that kind of thing, or, you know, something of that nature. And the other doesn't like it. The other might not like it at all. You might meet in that regard, but one of you doesn't sustain that energy. It's not something you're constantly doing as a lifestyle. So they feel like there's some kind of lifestyle differences here. There's creative differences here. It could be hard for them to keep up with your energy and vice versa. And we end up feeling kind of triggered by each other and stressed, okay? Do they feel like this is a fated connection or blessed connection? We have air reverse. So some of you, again, it's just this person just feels your energy and they're kind of rejecting it. You haven't actually talked to them and they don't like this interaction. They're just someone who's successful and you're just interacting with their energy. It could be that you're not in communication here. We have air reverse, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It could also just be that, again, where they feel like you don't talk the same language. You don't have the same mindset. You don't have the same plans. You don't have the same blueprint and things. So they really don't see this as like a blessed connection. They see it as a challenge and kind of like, how did we get entangled with each other? This is strange, okay? There, any plans for action? We have rejection reversed. So this person might not, and this came out in another reading too, out of all of these cards here, and I shuffled and shuffled, this person could be where they won't outright reject you, but they might kind of ghost and come back, or they'll kind of let you know, like this is the energy of someone who might make you a side person, or they might interact with you and then be like, okay, but now I'm exhausted, or I don't want to interact further, or we're just too different. And they kind of go cycles over and over. This is like a Sagittarius that's not balanced. Sagittarius generally doesn't cut people off, but they'll disappear for a while and then they'll come back and try it again if they're interested, if they're very attracted to you, which this person does have a lot of physical attraction or some kind of creative attraction to you. And then they'll kind of come back around, but they'll never make something happen. So it could be that there could be breadcrumbing in this group or something of that nature, because it's saying they're probably not going to reject you. As a matter of fact, they might come out of rejection, but they're not going to like fully make it anywhere, because as soon as the chariot takes off, we have the anchor of Saturn in Sagittarius limiting, maybe actually limiting transportation. Maybe that's a thing for this person. You're not in the same circles that they are metaphorically, or you're not in the same circles that they are physically. Like you're literally not in the same area. There's something with travel that's not taking off, or something of this nature that, this person just feels like we don't go to the same places. We're not three of wands with each other, is kind of the vibe. Like we don't travel in the same circles. We're not aiming towards the same goals. So I'm not rejecting you, but I'm not giving you some kind of cohesive ending. I'm not finishing something with you. I'm not going to fully communicate with you. I feel triggered when we interact. I feel burdened. I feel less cool. I feel like how I'm doing things is the wrong way to do them. How I'm acting or moving is the wrong way to act, and I don't like that. So I escape as quickly and easily as I can, is the vibe here. All right, maybe this person has guilt. If you guys have like intimate interactions, sensual interactions, they could have some guilt, like morning after kind of vibe, okay? Or they could feel like maybe they want to, like they start off wanting to be involved in business with you, but then they feel like it's not going to go anywhere, and I'm just going to pivot off of this and jump into something else, a different arena, or like I was just collabing just in case it could be fun or something, but I never really took it fully seriously. It feels more burdensome. I don't want to have any responsibility with this. I'm going to take off and try to make something happen elsewhere, is the vibe here. All right, so what's your advice in this interaction? We have Lovers reversed. I caught a glimpse of it and I thought it was Temperance. It's Lovers reversed and the Two of Swords here. So this could be to break the connection. We have Maybe and Yes reversed here. How can I celebrate the love in my life today? Listen to your inner voice when making choices. So it's like, does this person honor some kind of partnership, some kind of love? Doesn't really seem like they do. So how can you honor the energy of love for yourself? We have Moon and Libra here, air energy. We have air, Gemini, Mercury here. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, basically difficult decisions, weighing your options, avoidance. So coming out of avoidance and deadlock, stalemate. Think before your decision, but come out of stagnation and make the choice. Have some self-love. Disharmony, misalignment of values. Yeah, acknowledge that. That's what I got from the Temperance energy, right? Is like, make sure, makes sense. I was seeing this as Temperance because that's a Sagittarius card, and here we have a Gemini card reverse. So this is like, come out of like these differences that can't be reconciled, come out of staying in a situation that cannot be made harmonious, that is just going to be the way it is, even if you throw some magic on it or whatever. Like this person is kind of running randomly and rampantly around with their free will and with their reactions to things. This isn't a person who responds well to somebody else exerting a lot of free will or a lot of magic or a lot of thought towards them, because they already are very non-committal and they're feeling like this isn't what it is. So even if you have a fated connection in your guys' own astrology or whatever, they're rebelling against that. They're like, they don't want it. They don't want to interact with that. They don't like that heaviness. They don't like that this is what I have to do kind of vibe. So if you kind of weaponize that vibe that some people in the tarot community do, where you're like, no, you're my karmic, or you're my person, or you're my whatever, the other terms they use, they're not going to respond well to that. That's going to make them want to run towards their freedom more and be like, I'm my own person. I determine my own fate and I can do what I want. I haven't said that for a few videos, but usually there's somebody who wants to do what they want. Okay. That's this person. So they're saying, make sure that you are doing what is harmonious and balanced to you. Okay, don't be compartmentalized. This Gemini reverse energy, Mercury reverse energy. Don't have all your eggs in this basket, your emotions locked up, bad choices, fear of commitment to other things. Okay, detaching too much, getting jaded, being imbalanced. So your advice is really looking like to cut the cords and accept things as they are and move to where love is in your life. Move to where you're welcomed. Move to where people are coming towards you and you're moving towards them in an equal fashion. And it's not just this hit and miss, triggered, feeling burdened, stressed, because that can make you look at yourself differently. You know what I mean? There's going to be people who they don't, like, they have a depth and a strong connection with you and they don't see you as a burden. But when you're in a connection where there's this kind of vibe, you can start thinking that, oh, I'll never be in a connection where it's deep, but it's lighthearted and I'm welcomed and I'm loved. And that can really get into your head, right? So, yeah, if this is a job opportunity or something, I would definitely say go somewhere else, because I don't feel like if you do get this, you're going to be happy at all. There's going to be a lot of responsibility and expectations for very little return. This could be where someone wants all of your sacral energy. They want to drain you, use you, kind of thing, and make you be the perfect employee, but they never intend on promoting you, right? This mountains are 10th house, Capricorn energy. They never intend on promoting you, period. But they're not going to fire you. They'll just kind of breadcrumb and drag you along so that as they have their different wants and needs and stuff, they can use you to get to a triumphant place and make their energy feel good. This could be the person who comes along when their energy, their ego needs a boost, and they tap into your energy, right? Little psychic vampiric energy. So be very careful about that, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Check out the main video if you'd like for other situations to see the compatibility with other person's thinking and such. And I'll talk to you again on another one. Bye.